Hey, I want to talk to you real quick about pruning and purging. It is biblical, it is scriptural that we continue to look around in our environment and purge and prune. And I study this stuff, I know this stuff, but I still get hit hard. Like, God just shows me signs, He tells me, do it. And then when you do it, you're like, why haven't I done this? So I want to share something with you guys. So I have some plants that I don't know how to take care of plants and flowers and things like that. Just never done that in my life. Have read about it, have seen people do it. My dad has a green thumb. I have a couple friends who they plant gardens. My sister plants a garden. My mom did garden. And so I kind of know of things, but to get in the field and work, I've never done it. I can remember when I was little, my grandma would bring in green beans and we would snap them and clean them and things like that. But to go pick the garden, weed the garden, never done it. But I had skill of being around it, if that makes sense. So anyway, I have these plants that I'm taking care of and I've kept them alive. But I've had a couple that just started to wither, and I've been watering them, not over watering. I'm actually using the ice cube method, which is incredible. I'll share that method. And I've been moving them. I've been talking to them like, what the heck, these plants are starting to wither. And anyway, I look in there and I'm like, there's a lot of dead things, right? There's a lot of dead leaves and things like that. So I got to show y'all this plant. It's crazy. I start getting into this plant and pulling out the dead. And when I do, I reach my hand in, I really get in there, and things start just falling off because it's really loose, but it's like wrapped around like chains, okay? So I just want to take this correlation to our lives. It is so important, especially in business and anything, but I'm talking business because I'm a business coach, social media coach. When you're building communities and networks, how important it is to prune and purge. There's people in our lives, there's things in our lives that are not serving us. They are literally killing us. They're like chains around us. They're like chains around other people in the community. Because this plant and the correlation, when I went in and started pulling the dead off, the plant came to life. I'm going to show y'all, it's just crazy. Okay, so here's the plant. I'm going to turn the video around, and in the floor is all the dead that I really didn't see. I've been passing by this plant, and that's the thing. You don't see what's killing your business. You don't see it. It's not like in your face saying, hey, pull me. I'm over here taking the community down. I'm over here killing your business. I'm over here not serving you and your mission. It's not there in your face. So you have to do this. It's a time of clean out, and it's sometimes things we don't want to do. It's uncomfortable. We might put emotion with it. Like when I pulled these weeds, I had no emotion. I'm like, get out of here. You're killing my plant. You're dead. You're gone. Let's go. So we can't have emotion. That's where in business, I think we hold on to the things that aren't serving us. We hold on to those things, and they're literally chains wrapped around us like the vine of the plant. Okay, so here we go. Beautiful plant. Oh my gosh, is it not gorgeous? Standing tall. You see it now, but it was literally withering. It was dying, okay? And I'll show y'all the pile of dead in the floor. Just give me a sec here. Show you real quick the ice cubes. I put ice cubes in my plants so they just drip the water and it's not submerged. That's kind of a trick that I was taught a couple weeks ago that's truly working. But this plant has come to life this morning because I got in here and I pulled all of that. Look at that. That was wrapped around the plant. And when I walked by it, I never seen it. I might have seen a little thing hanging around, but it wasn't in my face. This pile of mess was dead weight locked around this plant. Is that not crazy? So I'm super excited today about this beautiful plant, how it's come to life, and how I can apply these concepts and skills that God gives us in the good book. And they're there. All we've got to do is follow that direction. And I've already done that. So I've been through a lot of purging and pruning over the last, especially 30 days, but maybe even 90 days. Sometimes pruning is not as easy as just peeling off a weed. Like, it can take time to prune and purge. There's a lot of emotion with that when you're dealing with relationships and things. But let me just tell you, when you get those chains that are wrapped around you, and sometimes it's people, sometimes it's voices in your head, sometimes it's things you're watching, sometimes it's your environment. When you start pruning and purging those things, abundance begins to flow. I can't even tell you all the miracles that have happened to me over the last 30 days because I've had a huge purge and prune over the last 30 days. And while you're in the purge and the prune, it's like you feel defeated sometimes. You feel like it's loss, right? But if you just stick with it and you keep pulling those weeds and you keep letting it go with no emotion and you stay the course and you do what you're supposed to do, staying in good intention, good faith, serving your communities, doing what you know you're called to do, and you just delete the outside voices in your ear, the gossip, the people talking about you, whatever's happening, your environment, the television. When you start getting that stuff away and you stay focused, that abundance flows in. I can't even tell y'all what's happened to me over the last 2 weeks from the 30 days of making decisions in obedience to purge and prune what's come into my life. Sometimes, God wants to give us people, but we're holding on to the wrong. And not that they're bad people, okay? Wrong people for me is not that they're bad people. They're just not a fit for me. Maybe I'm not a fit for them. But we can't push and pull people to the finish line. There's people assigned to help us grow. There's people assigned to help lift us up, serve us, push us to the next level. But when we stay comfortable and complacent, and sometimes with the people that are not a fit, sometimes it's intentional not fit. Sometimes it's intentional malice. Okay, we see that sometimes a mile away. But the hard ones are the ones we don't see. Okay, but it's there. We have signs. God shows us. We have to really go with our gut, with our intuition, be in prayer, and be obedient. And through obedience, like, God's just ready to hand us this platter. I mean, I can't even describe it. It's like this buffet. Like, just here it is, here it comes. Like, this harvest is so huge. If I could just show y'all through my eyes what I've seen over the last 90 days and take you through the hard times, the loss, the hardship, stay in the course no matter what. Even when you want to quit, even when you feel defeated, even when you feel like you can't do it, even when you feel like you're not worthy, when you keep going through it, and then when you're down, people are kicking you. You can just imagine laying on the floor and people are kicking you in the ribs. If it's happening, you just get up and you fight another day, and then what happens is in alignment, people show up, things show up, and you're like, this is worth it. Every kick in the rib I got, this is worth it. It's so worth it. You're worth it. So let's go do what we're called to do, stay in obedience, and I hope this little plant story helped you as much as it did me. Be blessed.